Smarterfan. Smarterfan. Yeah. Smarterfan.
Hey, everybody, welcome to another segment of Smarterfan Podcast, where we bring you behind the veil of sports business and life. I'm Joe, and this is Barry. How you doing, Barry?
Joe, I'm cooking some jerk chicken. I'm ready to go. What's up, brother? What's going on?
Oh, not much, not much. You know, same old, but we're here.
Oh no, Joe, it can't be same old, same old. The NFL season has started. College basketball has started. The
Mm,
MB and MLB playoffs has started. We are
mm,
in the 24-hour, 7-day a week sports cycle, my friend.
you're right about that.
We
You're
are
right
there.
about that.
We are there.
And I wanted to just say on a sad note,
So-
football has lost two great players this week in Russ Francis and Dick Butkus.
Yeah. Man, that hurt. They all
Yeah,
hurt, but that hurt. I didn't even know Dick was sick.
nobody did.
Dick was a major influence on my life as a kid.
Mm,
Um, just was,
yeah.
just was. And Russ Francis, interesting enough, was also probably a big influence as well in my as a teenager
Hmm.
going in probably as a early collegiate high school when he was with the 49ers
Hmm.
um, and before they went on their run. And
Right.
so, yeah, that's sad to hear, especially him dying in a plane crash,
I know.
in Lake
I know.
Placid.
Yeah.
You
So
man, that's tough. That's really tough way to, it's tough. It's tough.
yeah.
It's tough. But
So
yeah, mhm.
so let's why don't you kick it off tonight? What's on your mind?
Man, you know what's on my mind, Joe?
Mm.
And I'm gonna say it now, and I'm gonna say I think the latest iteration of the NCAA
Hmm.
in their efforts again to not do anything to help the athlete, but always do things to hinder and make the athlete's life more difficult. I think
Hmm.
really, I'd be surprised if the NCAA exists as it does within the next 3 years, because they
Mm.
just continue to do things not in the best interest of the game, not in the best interest of the players, by just creating hurdles um, to allowing players to get their fair share.
Mm.
I mean, you got people in the NCAA office who make 6 figures, 7 figures, and more who've never played the game,
Right. Yeah.
who don't understand anything about the game, who are making rules about the game that they know nothing about. They've
Hmm.
never done two a days. They've never bulged a hamstring. It's
Mm.
like the IOC of the Olympics. It's
Oh
like you
yeah.
got these people who don't have any idea, but they keep eating off of you like a parasite, and they do
Mm.
everything to restrict your ability to get your fair share of the pie. Because without you, the IOC or anybody from the NCAA could walk down the street, walk into a stadium. No one's coming to see them.
Mm.
No one's coming to see them. They come to see the athletes, the coaches. That's what they come to see, and it's just
Yep.
sad. And I think the more I keep seeing these things that the NCAA is doing, because I think my friend said to me, how could that possibly be? I said, one word, but really it's two words: social media. Why do I
Yeah.
need you? I don't. And I said, Do you know who's broadcasting games right now? It's not ABC, CBS, what we grew up, or any of that. It's YouTube.
Yep.
YouTube is
Mm.
broadcasting major football. So they were
Yep.
like, oh my goodness. Again, so why do I need the NCAA? Why do I need a governing board like the NCAA who's prohibitive? These colleges, I mean, the
Mm.
colleges used to handle their media. Most of these colleges have media studios. You just have the presidents be their own governing board. You don't need an
Mm.
NCAA, and you make the rules that benefit the athlete. So that's really in my craw tonight. And the other part of
Mm.
it is, I had a couple conversations with some folk about the NIL, and they were, yanking Joe about how it's ruining the game and so forth and so on. I said nobody was saying this when, and I have no problem Nick Saban getting what he gets or any coach getting what they get. It's the game.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't have
Yeah.
anybody haranguing them. I don't have anybody
Mm.
haranguing how these universities are making all this money and building all these buildings and stuffing their retirement accounts and stuffing their 401ks and stuffing all this money. Um, and the kids are not getting anything. So the person
Mm.
had
Yeah.
they had
Well.
their mouth open, and I said, I'm just saying every kid who's playing should be able to walk away from the game because we all know that everybody's not get drafted, and those who get drafted, even fewer than them actually make it to have a
Mm.
long term career, and that's just the way it goes. It's the nature of the business.
Yeah.
But there's no reason why these kids shouldn't be leaving away from again $100,000 in the bank account upon graduation, and
Mm.
3 years of academic eligibility already paid for. They paid for it by
Yeah.
playing. They've generated the income, so you're not even really giving them anything. You know what I mean? But they should be able to get back 3 years of academic eligibility because the reality is they're not going to be in the NFL or whatever sport. You know what I mean?
Yep.
So they should be able to get as much education as they possibly can. And
Sure.
instead of the NCAA doing something like that, they find more and more ways to be punitive, restrictive, and really, the more they act, I just see them as a relic of the past, and it's just time to get rid of them. You get a government,
Mm.
you get some AI to set some rules and so forth and so on, and let the presidents or the trustees be the governing board and make sure you got former players on the governing board to keep everything clean,
Mm-hmm.
and then, it's a new day. It's a new day,
Yeah.
right? And so the persons, they were like, they didn't really have much to say after I presented it like that.
Yeah.
So that's kind of some of the stuff that's been on my mind on the
Mm-hmm.
NCAA, and and the really thing that's hurtful about it, Joe, is
Mm-hmm.
that the NCAA should be and could be those things, but they just have the wrong people. They
Yeah.
just have the
Well.
wrong people, and I don't think there's a way to fix it. I think it's
Mm.
just you just get rid of it and create a new board, because they've just been in that rut so long. Just get rid of it.
Yeah.
Yeah, create
Well,
something else.
we'll see.
So
We'll
that's what
see.
I got so far in the first quarter. I'm not gonna hog it up to the fourth quarter. So what you got, buddy? I know you always got
Okay.
something.
I want to switch gears and talk about boxing. And one Walker Smith Jr. He was born in Alley, Georgia, to Walker Smith Sr. and Leela Hurst. And his parents split up when he was 12, and he moved to Harlem with his mother.
Hmm.
And he had aspirations of being a doctor, but then after he dropped out of DeWitt Clinton High School in the Bronx, he switched his goal to boxing, and he attempted to enter his first boxing tournament at the age of 14, but needed an AAU membership card, which you needed to be 16 to have. So to get around that, he used an ID card from a youth by the name of Ray Robinson, who
Oh
had
wow.
quit boxing, you know, So he used his card and he began fighting under that name, and it stuck. And later, when a lady was in the audience at a fight in Watertown, New York, she said he was sweet as sugar. The name Sugar Ray Robinson was born. So,
That's a story.
oh
That's
yeah,
amazing. That guy hasn't. His name has just lived on in perpetuity. It's got to be what, 60 years?
oh yeah. Well, he began his pro career in 1940, uh, winning 6 fights, 4 by knockout, and in 42 he he fought the first of his 6 bouts with Jake LaMotta, which he won by unanimous decision. And he went 14-0 for the year and went 40-0 before losing to LaMotta for the first time, before beating him in the third bout 3 weeks later. These guys fought 3 weeks after that.
Man, those guys were gladiators, bro.
Oh,
Those
yeah.
guys were gladiators.
And in 43, he went into the Army where he served with Joe Louis, and they went on tours performing exhibition bouts in front of the troops.
Mm.
And in 47, he was scheduled to fight Jimmy Doyle, but he backed out of the fight because he had a dream that he killed him.
Mm.
And after some convincing, they got him to fight Jimmy Doyle, and the dream came true.
Wow.
He knocked him out, and he never regained consciousness. So,
Wow.
and
That's deep.
yeah, and Robertson later learned that Doyle was going to use the money from the fight to buy his mother a house. So what he
Mm.
did was he gave Doyle's mother the money from his next 4 fights so she could buy herself a house and fulfill her son's intention.
Wow.
You know,
Wow.
and then Robinson would fight LaMotta for the 6th time in 51 to take the middleweight title, winning 5 of the 6 bouts
Yeah,
without
what?
LaMotta.
He fought LaMotta enough time to make a career.
Well, LaMotta said, "I fought Sugar Ray so many times I almost got diabetes."
Oh my goodness, that's funny. That's
Yeah.
funny.
So, and basically, Sugar Ray fought from 1940 to 1965, a 25-year career.
Really? He
Uh,
fought that long?
oh
Wow.
yeah, he was inducted into the Boxing Hall of Fame in '90. He turned pro at 19, and by 51, he had a 129-1-2 record with 85 knockouts, including a 91 fight unbeaten streak from 43 to 51. That's crazy. He retired in 52, and then he came back in 55 to regain the middleweight title. And he became the first boxer in history to win a divisional world championship 5 times. And he was named Fighter of the Year in 42 and 51, and he was ranked as the greatest fighter of all time, pound for pound. And he's also credited with being the originator of the modern sports entourage. And
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah, and after
He
his
was a
boxing,
dresser.
oh
He
yeah,
drove, he was very flashy, you
had that
know.
pink Cadillac,
Yeah. Yeah.
you
Well
know.
dressed, well groomed, looked well, wasn't marked up. You know what I
Mm-mm,
mean?
no. And after his boxing career ended, unfortunately he struggled financially until his death in
Mm.
1989. And his record was 174 wins, 109 by knockout, 19 losses, 6 draws, and 2 no contests. The man he had some epic battles in his career, some epic battles. But he was just an amazing fighter. So that's my little bit of history.
He's got me 10-0. 10-0, Joe. Every time I think I'm going to climb out, get a little win there, he just slapped me back down. He just slapped me back down, Joe. Slap me down. Well, that's awesome. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So what else is on your mind?
Well, you know what else is on my mind is Coach. I call it the Coach Prime Masterclass.
Mm-hmm.
It's just so many angles. I mean, one of the angles that is leaping out is I had reported on this a while ago. I felt like he had brought in at least 100 million so far to Colorado.
Mm.
Um, which so far exceeds his 5 year, $30 million contract.
Mm.
Um,
Mm.
yeah, but I think that someone projected 280. I think by the end of I think this is what I think. I think
Mm-hmm.
if all goes the way I think it's going to go, and they end up in a bowl, and they win these, and it'd probably be somewhere around 300 million.
Mm.
Um, and I'm starting to hear what we've been saying, that there's a new day in college football. And what was interesting was someone was again. I don't know where these people find me, Joe. They just seem to find me. And they were like, "Oh, Coach Prime, he's ruining the game." Da da da. And I let him talk. I don't try to engage these people, Joe.
No
What
point.
do you? No point. What do you think, Barry? I don't have opinion. I don't want. I'm not really. Have nothing to say. No, Barry. What do you think? What do you think? What do you think? I said, well, according to the AD of
Mm.
Oregon, haters gonna hate.
Yeah.
Haters gonna hate. According to the AD of University of Oregon, who they lost to 46-6 or 45
Mm.
6, he says three key things. Deion Sanders has changed college football forever.
Mm-hmm.
College football will never be the same. And he's the best thing to happen to college football.
Mm.
And I looked at the person and I said, that's what the AD said. Not the
Right. Yeah.
coach, not anyone who doesn't matter. The person who counts the money. AD.
Yeah.
That's what he said. And his team just beat Colorado. So what do you interpret that as? You interpret that as Deion Sanders has just created a number of lanes and income to college sports that will keep us viable, because what is happening on many college campuses and many colleges
Mm-hmm.
are shutting down because people are not going to college like that anymore.
Right.
So
Right.
enrollment is down.
Who can afford it?
Thank you. Right? So this phenomenon of Coach Prime, and I keep saying a lot of these coaches hate, comes from the fact that they're going to be asked to do more than coach football. You're
Mm.
going to have to bring in more revenue. You're going to have to be more than X's and O's. That's the nature of the game. And a lot of these guys are mad about it, scared about it, but that's really the elephant in the room.
Yeah.
You're going to have to be more. You're going to have to generate more. And somebody said to me today, well, you see what the NCAA did? They don't want any more photo shoots and whatever, whatever. And I said, that won't affect Coach Prime. And they said, well, why not? Because Coach Prime has his own media outlet.
Yeah.
They said, what? He's got his own media outlet. He's got Bucky, his son.
Mm-hmm.
See, they think that, well, if we cut down them, we'll be able to compete. No, you won't. No, you won't.
Mm.
Because if I'm a player, I want to be over there. I want to get my name seen. When you heard Amarion talk about how he's talking to Coach Prime says somebody wants to talk to you on the phone. It's Snoop Dogg. His
Mm.
mother is seeing him on ESPN. He getting blown up. His teachers are reaching out to him from his former high school.
Mm-hmm.
You think I'm not gonna think about seriously again. This is why I say what I said. NCAA is doing things to show their irrelevance for the future.
Hmm. Yeah.
It's like, I don't need you. I don't need you. I have social media, so I don't need to go through that channel. I can go through Bucky. I can go through pregame. I don't even need you. I can
Right.
bring all my players, as he's done, College Game Day, ESPN. I
Mm-hmm.
don't need you. I've got my own media. I
Well,
can bring these recruits on my own media platform. You
yeah,
see what I'm
well,
saying?
yeah.
So the person was like, oh my goodness. I said, this is why this is a new day in college sports.
Mm-hmm.
Because social media, if you don't get with it, you're just a dinosaur and you're going to die. Bye. And these kids who are the game NCAA, you're just making yourself more and more irrelevant. You see how many views his games are generating?
Oh, yeah,
It's
yeah,
ridiculous.
yeah,
So
yeah.
I keep trying. I just keep telling people. I said it's a new game. And so when you start seeing these ads, I don't care nothing. You gotta follow the money. You ever heard that statement? Follow the money. Follow the money. You hear
Yeah.
these ads, and I said, there it is. AD said he's the best thing to happen to college football. He's the best thing to happen to college sports because he's bringing back attention. He's bringing back interest. Which means eyeballs, which means bigger TV contracts, which means more money for programs. Blah 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 blah. My friend,
Yeah. Well, interesting. Interesting.
very interesting. Even heard through the grapevine that SMU and a couple other colleges trying to put packages together to steal him away from Colorado. You
Well,
feel
we
what I'm
knew
saying?
that. We knew that was coming.
Oh, we knew that was coming. And I said, I mean, you should have heard the pitch coming out of SMU. Well, your son played here. You're from you live in Texas. And see, them folk, there's some entities out there. They don't even ask you how much you want. They just
Mm,
slide the blank check and tell you to put the number.
that's right.
I'm
That's right.
serious.
Yeah.
To
Oh yeah.
bring a winner to your state? Oh my goodness. Are you
Yeah.
kidding me? To make your program relevant again?
Hmm.
And it's SMU got that kind of money, brother.
Oh, I'm
They got
sure.
that kind of money.
I'm sure.
And so, I still kind of feel that once Shadur Shiloh, I think he'll stay until Shalomi's done,
Hmm.
and then he would probably consider moving on. But I
Yeah.
don't think he'll move on before that.
Oh, we'll see.
We will see, my good friend. We will see. But
Okay.
what you got? What you got cooking?
I
I,
want to talk a little bit about the NBA and these trades that went down. The Bucks they got a block. They did a blockbuster deal. Uh,
uh,
they got Damian Lillard for Drew Holiday and
mm-hmm,
a 2029 first round pick and two first round swaps with the Blazers in 2028 and 30.
mm-hmm.
And then the Blazers sent Holiday to the Celtics for Malcolm Brogdon, and Robert Williams, and a 2029 unprotected first round pick.
Well,
So
mm,
yeah, well, this all culminated because Lillard he asked the Blazers to trade him
mm-hmm.
because he wanted them to improve the roster and put better players around them, and they didn't. So he decided, so he asked them for a trade, and they finally accommodated him. You know, um, it's going to be interesting to see how these trades pan out. With Holiday, uh, Jalen Brown, and KP in Boston, and Lillard, Giannis, and Middleton in Milwaukee. It'll be interesting.
It'll be interesting. Actually, I think Drew Holiday ended up in the right place because
Yeah.
oh yeah, he and the Celtics, oh, they're a problem now. They're a
Hmm.
problem for
Yeah.
sure.
Oh yeah. Yeah. They're gonna make the East interesting. That's for sure.
Yeah,
You know,
they're a problem.
and the Warriors acquired Chris Paul from the Wizards,
That's
and
a problem.
yeah, Steve Kerr, he's excited about that. Having him on the team. Uh, his training camp has started, and but he's not ready to concede that he's no longer a starter. And I think if he came off the bench, it would extend his career.
Well, CP3's got to weigh two things. Yeah, I think he can start, but the problem is that when I need you money time, your body can't hold up.
Exactly my
I'm not
point.
I'm not pulling you off the bench because you can't start. It's that okay, I play you all these games and then I need you money time and you pull up with a
Exactly.
hamstring or another injury
Exactly.
and we don't win the chip.
Mm-hmm.
How does that work?
Mm-hmm.
How's that a win? Okay, you started, but we didn't win the chip. You don't start, and we do win the chip.
Right. Yeah. There's no shame in coming off the bench.
No,
You know?
it's 2 seasons. There's the regular season, and there's playoff time. I'd rather have you fully healthy, fully ready to go come playoff time. It's not an
Yeah.
issue. It's not an issue that you can't play. It's not an issue that you can't start. Is that I've watched you not be able to finish in money time. Not because
Mm,
you can't, but because your body is like, yo, I've had enough.
exactly.
So what do I do? And so,
Exactly.
he's just gonna have to, figure out that decision. I was like, do I walk away with a trophy? Or do
Right.
I do I walk away with, you know, a great regular season? I'd rather walk away with a trophy and save my
Yeah.
body for money time,
You know?
in my humble opinion.
Shoot.
So, my friend, lots going on, lots cooking,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
it's tough. I know people, egos get in the way and so forth and so on. But let me tell you, as they say, winning heals all wounds.
Yeah.
Winning heals all wounds. So, anything else you have to say, friend, as we wrap up another Smarter Fan podcast? People have been hitting me up. I've been sharing the podcast. They're loving the episodes. They're loving the information. So
Mm-hmm.
it feels like Smarter Fan podcast has hit its stride. Joe, sounds like we have hit our stride, my friend.
Sounds
Anything
good.
else?
That's all I got for right now. But
Well,
it's another day, another dollar, and and every day above ground is a good day as far as I'm concerned.
it's a good day, brother. And I wouldn't mind if you give me a little break on these obituaries, but I
Well,
appreciate them. I know I appreciate them, but they're a
yeah,
little,
yeah.
it is the reality, and it's
Hey,
it is what it
it's
is.
part of life.
It's part of life. It's part of life, and we just keep rolling, right?
That's it.
All right, my friend. Have a good one. We're looking for you all, our Smarter Fan family. Look out for our merchandise. Look for our calls coming at the end of the month. So yes, you'll be able to call in the Smarter Fan podcast and
Mm.
do a live Q&A with us, and we'll talk about whatever you want to talk about on Smarter
Mm.
Fan podcast. Have a good
Mm.
evening.
All right.
Smarter Fan.